Hello guys, this is Sharon here from 24/7 Techie, and in this video we are going to compare the Xiaomi Mi 4 with the OnePlus X and the OnePlus One. So these three phones are priced very similarly. So the Xiaomi Mi 4 is priced about 18,000 rupees for the 64 gigs model. The OnePlus X is priced about 17,000 for the 16 gigs model, but it does have an expandable storage. Whereas the OnePlus One is right now priced about 20,000 rupees for the 64 gigs model. So in this video we will be comparing these three phones, as these three are the major competition to each other, and they have very identical specs as well. So in this video we will be comparing these three and finding out which is the best and why it is the best. So first of all, to start off with the video, we will know the connectivities of the phone. So the OnePlus X has a dual 4G SIM card slot, in which the second SIM card slot can be changed to a memory card. So we'll consider it as a single SIM card slot with an expandable storage, because the device is only limited to 16 gigs if we use it as a dual SIM device. And if 16 gigs is good enough for you, then you can consider it as a 16 gigs model as well. The Xiaomi Mi 4 has a single 3G slot, nothing else, so no 4G connectivity for India. And the OnePlus One is the single 4G slot, so it does support all 4G bands in India, but it's only a single 4G slot. And if we take the weight of these phones into the consideration, the OnePlus X weighs around 140 grams, and as you can see, it is very well built, both side glass and metal finish, and looks really good, and it's 6.9 mm thick as well. And when we compare it to the Xiaomi Mi 4, which is about 150 grams, and it has a metal frame, and back is customizable, so I have a custom back. I've got many demand for the link that I bought it from, so I will leave the links from where I bought it. And this is the OnePlus One, which weighs about 162 grams, so heaviest in the lot. The Xiaomi Mi 4 and the OnePlus One both are thick at 8.9 grams. So both the devices are quite thick if we compare it with the OnePlus X. Now we'll jump into the main difference between these phones, and that is the screen size and the screen quality. So the OnePlus X is a 5-inch Full HD screen, and it's using an AMOLED screen, compared to the Xiaomi Mi 4, which is also a 5-inch Full HD screen but an IPS grade screen. And when we come to the OnePlus One, it's a 5.5-inch Full HD screen, and it's also a IPS grade screen. So as you can see, this is the first pic that we are comparing it with, and I will be comparing it with the same pics that I compared the OnePlus X with the OnePlus 2, so that you can get a good idea on the comparison. So as we can see that there's a very big color difference between these three phones. So the OnePlus One is a 5.5 inch, so the pixel density comes at 401, whereas both the other phones are 5-inch Full HD, where the pixel density comes at 441. We can notice the difference, and especially in the AMOLED to the IPS screen. So the color saturation is a lot better on the OnePlus X compared to any other phone, and the OnePlus One with a 5.5-inch Full HD screen is looking a little bit faded out, because the pixel density is a little bit low compared to other phones. All the three displays are good. The OnePlus X has the best display, then the Xiaomi Mi 4 because of the pixel density, and then the OnePlus One. The OnePlus One has a great display for the 5.5-inch column. You can see the trend that will be following in each and every pic that I will be showing you guys, that the color saturation is more on the OnePlus X, and then the Mi 4, and then the OnePlus One. You can just now compare all the pics. So the next thing that we will be comparing in these phones will be the memory. So the OnePlus X comes with a base model of 16 gigs and no other upgradation. So 16 gigs model plus a micro SD card slot. If 16 gigs is good enough for you, then you can use it as a dual SIM phone. But if you need my expandable storage, then there is a micro SD card slot for you guys. The Mi 4 comes in two storage models, 16 gigs and 64 gigs. The 16 gigs is available for around 14 to 15,000 rupees, depending on the discount of that time, and the 64 gigs is available for 18,000. No real discount on this model, I've noticed. And for the OnePlus One, it was available for 16 and 64 gigs, but right now on Amazon, on any other site, I was not able to find the 16 gigs model that easily. So, and the 64 gigs model has been discounted from 22,000 to 20,000, but you can sort of get it for around 18 to 20,000 depending on the discounts that are going around. There are no expandable storage for the Mi4 and the OnePlus One, so the model you buy will be your stuck up model. So all three phone comes with 3 gigs of RAM, where the OnePlus X and the OnePlus One is showing as 1.6 gigs of RAM free, and the Mi4 is showing about 1.9 gigs of RAM free. The MIUI 7 has optimized a little bit of RAM management on the Mi4, and it's performing better, but earlier on it used to be only 1 gigs. So the RAM management has improved on the Mi4 recently, but 1.6 gigs to 1.9 gigs, it's really good. Less than 50% of the RAM is used, that's good enough for me. So a very big difference comes in the Android OS version that they are running on. So there are two phones that are running on Android 5.1.1, and one phone that is still running on Android KitKat, and you can guess it that which one of them would be running on Android KitKat. And so as we can see, there are two phones that are running on Android 5.1.1, the OnePlus One and the OnePlus X, whereas the Xiaomi Mi4 is still running on Android KitKat 4.4.4, and it's running on the company's latest software, the MIUI 7 stable version, but it's still on the Android 4.4.4. That is not really very good from Xiaomi. I've already published a couple of videos on how to install Android Marshmallow on these two phones, the OnePlus One and the Xiaomi Mi4. Both of them perform okayish. Future development is needed, but a development is going on for those phones, which brings us to our next point, the aftermarket development. So the OnePlus X is very new, so there's not at all any development going on. I just recently found out a custom recovery. I published that video, but that's the only thing that I found out till now. And for the Mi4, it's officially supported by CyanogenMod mod nightlies, whereas the OnePlus One is officially supported by CyanogenMod mod as in stable ROM. So it was one of the first phone to support CyanogenMod mod out of the box. So that's a very big difference in the aftermarket development from the developers of the XD or any other forum. So right now there is no development for the OnePlus X, but okay enough development for the Xiaomi Mi4, and very good development going on for the OnePlus One. So all three phones are running on Snapdragon 801. So I will be running the benchmark on these three phones, and coming when the benchmark will finish, I will come back. So finally the benchmarking is finished, and to a surprise, the OnePlus X has scored the lowest, around 40,000, compared to the Xiaomi Mi4's 43,000 and the OnePlus One's 48,000. It's a surprise that OnePlus X is scoring about 40,000, and there's a very big difference between the X and the One, because the specs are very similar. It could be because of use of different processors. As we can see it clearly that the OnePlus X is the only processor which is using a 2.3 GHz processor, whereas both the other phones are at 2.5 GHz. And there's also the difference between the model number. So the OnePlus X is on MSM 8974 Pro AA, whereas the other two phones are MSM 8974 Pro AC. So there is a difference between the AA and the AC. But I can surely assure you that I played a couple of games on this, and the gaming performance on the phones were decent. So benchmark were about 40,000 on the benchmark is okayish, and you don't need to worry if it's scoring high or low. Above 40,000 anything is good. So in the battery point of view, this is also a place where the OnePlus X loses very badly. So the Mi4 and the OnePlus One are having a battery of 3080 mAh battery, whereas the OnePlus One has the 3100 mAh battery. So the OnePlus X only has a 25 mAh battery. It also shows different in the figures. So we can very difficultly reach about 3 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time on the OnePlus X, whereas on the other two phones you can easily get above 4 hours of screen on time. And it is good enough for a normal user, not very heavy user. And other two phones are famous for the battery life. So if you are a very heavy user, then you can consider other phones, or don't mind carrying a power bank or something like that. So the NFC is missing on two phones, the OnePlus X and the Xiaomi Mi4. The OnePlus One is the only phone that supports NFC. and it's different for the FM radio. So the OnePlus X supports FM radio, whereas the Xiaomi Mi 4 also supports FM radio. There is an advantage for the OnePlus X which no other phone has, that is the notification toggle. So the toggle that OnePlus has designed for the OnePlus 2 has also been included in the OnePlus X, and it works perfectly fine. So all three phones have a 13 megapixel camera, where I can tell you by the rating that the OnePlus X and the OnePlus One clicks photo similarly, and the Xiaomi Mi 4 is a little bit better. But the OnePlus One is the only phone in this comparison that has a dual LED flash. Other two phones have a single LED flash. So as we are in the front camera of these phones, we can see that the OnePlus X is the best in this comparison, and the Xiaomi Mi 4 comes at second, and the OnePlus One comes at third. And it's all because that these two phones are having an 8 megapixel front camera, whereas the OnePlus One has only a 5 megapixel front camera. So in the video point, the Xiaomi Mi 4 and the OnePlus One supports 4K video recording, whereas the OnePlus X only supports 1080p video recording. So in the camera point of view, the Xiaomi Mi 4 wins for the back camera, but the OnePlus X wins for the front camera. And in the video recording, the OnePlus One and the Xiaomi Mi 4 has 4K video recording, whereas the OnePlus X only has a 1080p video recording. There is also a point that that no other phone has, only Xiaomi Mi 4 has, is that it supports quick charging. The OnePlus One takes 2 hours, and the OnePlus X takes about 1 hour 45 minutes. The Xiaomi Mi 4 whereas takes only 1 hour 40 minutes to charge, because it is supported by Quick Charge 2.0, and 1 hour 40 minutes is good enough for a 3080 mAh battery. So audio via the 3.5mm headphone jack is great on all three devices, but audio via the loudspeaker is best on the OnePlus One, as it's supporting dual speakers. Other phone only support a single speaker. So the OnePlus One does perform better in this point. And to conclude this video, I can surely tell you that if you're looking for a 5-inch good phone with a budget of around 15 to 17,000, the OnePlus X fits in your budget, because it does have a expandable storage, 4G connectivity and everything. If you're looking for a 5.5-inch phone, then you can go for the OnePlus One. And I can surely tell you that the OnePlus One and the OnePlus X are similar devices. So if you're okay with the 5.5-inch screen factor, then you can go with the OnePlus One. If you're more inclined towards the 5-inch screen factor, then the OnePlus X is a great choice for you. So the OnePlus X is running on Oxygen OS, which gives us some editing, but not a lot of customization compared to the OnePlus One, which is running on CyanogenMod mod 5.1.1. It is one of the most customizable plus stable ROM in the world. So I am really a very big fan of the CyanogenMod mod. But Oxygen OS is also very good. If we compare it to Xiaomi Mi UI, it's very far from stock Android. So I am more inclined towards the stock Android. So I will choose the Oxygen OS or the CyanogenMod mod any day over the Mi UI. So thank you guys for watching this video. This was Sharun here from 24/7 Techie, showing you guys the OnePlus X versus the Xiaomi Mi 4 versus the OnePlus One. And please do subscribe to our channel, because we really need subscribers, and you can help us a lot through that red subscription button. And I really wish to see you in my next video. Till then, see ya.